we'll start with our next topic is cycloconverter. Now this cycloconverter again is a circuit which comes under AC to AC converter. Now if you compare your cycloconverter with your AC voltage controller, what is the difference? Now in your AC voltage controller, we could have changed our magnitude of our supply voltage, but the frequency was remaining same. But in this case, what we can do is that we can change the frequency and of the AC voltage supply, but the maximum, the peak value of the supply voltage remains same. Okay, the peak value, the maximum value remains same over here. So this is a device which helps in converting input power at one frequency to output power at a different frequency with only one stage conversion. No different means no from AC to DC and then again DC to AC. No two-stage conversion is required over here. So direct AC to AC converter. That's why you will see in your syllabus also these two types of converters are known as AC to AC direct converters. No need of converting AC to DC and then DC to AC again. So these are direct AC converters. So that's why we are saying it requires one stage conversion only. Now, what are the two types of cycloconverter? Again, same thing. We'll have a cycloconverter which can step down your supply frequency. So your output frequency is lower than your input frequency. That is a step down cycloconverter. And if your output frequency is higher than your input frequency, then obviously you should be a step up cycloconverter. What are the applications? It is used in speed control, the most important application, because if you change your frequency, what will change? Your synchronous speed. Ns equal to 128 by. So if you change your frequency, you can change your rotating magnetic field speed, slip changes, everything changes, torque, everything changes. Induction heating, static var compensations, you can go through these applications. Okay. All this can be done. And the general use, it can be used to convert variable frequency power from a fixed input frequency, or you can convert fixed frequency power from a variable input frequency. So if your input is variable, you can make it the output as a fixed frequency output also. Because if you step down the output or step up the output, that frequency will remain fixed. So that's what we are calling at the output, we'll get a fixed output frequency. Now let's go into the detail of the circuit. We are classifying this cycloconverter in two types, first step up and step down. So first what we'll discuss are step up cycloconverters. Then we'll go into discussion of step down cycloconverters. And then again we are classifying those cycloconverters into two types. One is called as midpoint cycloconverter and one is called as bridge type cycloconverter. This midpoint terms and bridge terms you might have heard in while doing rectifiers. You have heard rectifiers. So rectifier can be bridge type also, where there are 4 diodes, right? I'm just making a review of that. What is a bridge type? You remember your bridge type, how 4 thyristors diodes were used. Sorry, not thyristors. You have read diode. We'll study thyristor later. So 4 diodes were used, and in a midpoint, 2 thyristors were used, or 2 diodes were used. So those were the cases how we classified our midpoint and bridge type converter. Now, when we are using a midpoint converter, cycloconverter, obviously there should be a center tap transformer, right? Or you can call like as I have stated over here, a transformer with midpoint secondary, or you can call this a center tap transformer. How many thyristors will be there? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 thyristor, anti-parallel thyristors, all, because all are AC to AC converters, and you need anti-parallel thyristors to conduct during both positive and negative cycles. This you already know from studying your AC voltage control. So one will conduct in the positive cycle, other will conduct in the negative cycle. Otherwise we can't get AC, right? If you use 1 thyristor or 1 diode, we get what? A rectified circuit. Now, what are the voltages over here? This is a center tap point, or the midpoint of your secondary, whichever you want to call it. This is K. The upper terminal is A, this terminal is B. And you know, if this is plus 12, this is minus 12 of a center tap transformer. So this is positive with respect to this always. So this is positive, negative. And with respect to this, if A is considered, this is positive, this is minus over here. If B is considered, this is minus, and with respect to this will be at higher potential. So this, if this is minus, this will be at plus. If this is minus 12, 0 is higher than minus 12. So K is at higher potential. Now, what happens? You can go through these points also. I'll explain on my own, rather it will be good. So T1 and T4, this T1 and T4, you will see that it conducts only during the positive half cycle. So these are called as positive group. And T2 and T3, when you will study the operation, you will see it conducts during the negative half cycle. So that's why they are called as negative group. So that is my second point. And obviously what we have taken in all other circuit, all directions, current I0 should enter in this direction. If I0 enters in this direction, this will be positive, this will be negative. So this is basically your positive directions and positive polarity of your load current and output voltage respectively. If your I0 flows in opposite direction and V0 polarity is opposite, then you should take the value as negative. Now what happens? Now during the positive half cycle, so during the positive half cycle, this point is positive, this point is negative, right? If this point is positive, this point is negative. So this point positive, negative, minus, plus. This polarity which is drawn over here is correct. Now that is what is written over here. You can go through all these points. So for the first half cycle, this is 0 to pi. 0 to pi. So positive, this A point is positive. So A point is positive, so which should be on? T1. B point is positive, negative. So negative connected to negative, which should be on? T4. So two thyristors can be on during the positive cycle of the supply voltage. This is my positive cycle of the supply voltage. And two thyristors can be on during this period, which is T1 and T4. So what I will do is first turn on T1. Okay. Now, if you draw VAK, this is my VAK. Okay, and if you draw VBK, it will be going like this, right? Opposite to it. Hope you are understanding. VAK is A is positive with respect to K, and B is negative with respect to K. So if you draw VBK, will be opposite to VAK. Now, if you turn on T1, what does your common sense tell you? What will be V0? Obviously VAK, right? Because VBK is not connected through T4. I am not given a gate pulse. So obviously the upper part of the circuit is on. It starts from A plus through T1, through load, through K minus. So this part of the circuit gets completed. So what is V0 is VAK, right? Or if you can't understand this thing, if T1 is on, I0 and V0 direction is same, right? I0 direction is this one, so V0 polarity will be retained as shown in the figure. So it should be positive. Output voltage should be positive. So it should go in the positive direction. So it goes in the positive direction. After some while, say maybe θ1, we are force commutating this T1 off and then giving a pulse to T4. So if T4 is now on, we know during 0 to pi, this T1 and T4 are forward bias. So if I give a gate pulse to T4 at any time, it will be turned on. So as soon as I turn off my T1, I give a pulse to T4. So at this point, I am thinking my T1 is off. I am giving a pulse T4. Now current flows in this direction, right? So current polarity direction has changed. Voltage polarity will change. We are considering R load. Voltage polarity has changed. This has become plus. This has become minus. So now what will be the voltage, load voltage now? Negative. So from positive to negative, right? Now this is what one logic states you, and the other best logic is that if T4 is connected, what V0 should be equal to VBK. What is VBK? This dotted line. So my curve should follow this dotted line. Again, what I will do, force commuted T4, turn on T1. So it will be VAK. Again, what I will do, force commuted this T1, turn on T4. So what I will get? This dotted line. So T1 for this, 4 for this, 1 for this, 4 for this. So one half cycle gets complete. T1, T4. Then at theta 2, T4 is force commutated, T1 is turned on. It follows VAK. Theta 3, T1 is force commutated, T4 is given pulse. So it follows VBK. Then given T4 is force commutated at theta 4 and T1 is given pulse. Then goes on continuing. This number of cycles depends upon you. Like in over here, when I drew the figure over here, I have shown you 4 cycles. You can show it I've shown you 2 complete cycles for, and over here there is 3 complete cycles. So you can show anything, depends upon what you want to show. All this explanation what I've told you are written over here. You go through it. Okay. Now during the negative half cycle, what is happening? So during the negative half cycle, let us take over here. So VAK becomes like this. VBK becomes this dotted line, right? Previously VBK was negative, now it becomes positive, and now VAK previously was negative, now it becomes positive with the with this bold line. Now this becomes negative, this becomes positive, right? Now which thyristor should be on? T2. Which thyristor should be on? T4. Sorry, T3. So now which thyristor are on? T2 and T3. If you have any doubt, you can stop me in between and ask. T2 and T3. Now, if you look at this figure, T4 is present over here, right? After T4, T4 is a negative cycle, and we want to get a positive cycle over here because it is sine wave. After negative, there will be a positive cycle. So after positive cycle, what should be my cycle? Positive. Means after negative cycle, what should be my cycle? It should be positive, right? So in order to get positive cycle, which line it should follow? It should follow this dotted line. Means previously it was over here, right? Then it should go along this dotted line to be positive. Now in order to get the dotted line, which voltage should be present as the load voltage? VBK. Now in order to get VBK at the output voltage, which thyristor should be on? T3. So that's why after T4, T3 is given pulse, not T2. Please be very careful with this. Which switch should be given pulse? Because after negative cycle, you need to get positive cycle. And in the second cycle, which voltage is positive? VBK. To get VBK at the output voltage, which thyristor should be on? T3. So if T3 is on, see your current flows in this direction, automatically load voltage becomes positive. If you don't understand why it is becoming positive and negative because of this, current flows in this direction, automatically voltage will be positive. This is a common sense you should have. So voltage positive goes through this. Then again force commutated, which will be made on T2. So if T2 is on, which direction current flow? This direction. Automatically voltage negative. Which voltage it should be? VAK. See, it is following VAK only. See my logic, both logics are working. Then again T3. Then again T2. So this continues, goes on. So this goes on. T3, T2, T3, T2, T3, T2. How many times this is done? It is completely dependent upon you, how much frequency you offer. Now, my source voltage is this one. And at my output, what we are getting is this one. How many cycles are there within one cycle of the source voltage? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So automatically, what is my load frequency? 6 times of supply frequency. So that's why I have written F naught is equal to 6 Fs, and that's why I am saying it as a step up cycloconverter. Step up cycloconverter. So I hope everybody has understood this step up cycloconverter, because all this diagram will be followed later on. Only next explanation you see there is nothing in there. All same types is taken. So if you understand this one perfectly, next ones will be very easy, because I'll take the reference of these things only. Next is a bridge type. Now bridge type, if you look, see bridge type. This is a bridge type. You have seen rectifier bridge type, but we have to use a AC to AC converter. So another rectifier should be attached, which is conducting in the opposite direction. So obviously that's why we are using two rectifiers over here. Antiparallel. Which logic was used over here also? Which logic is used in any DC AC to AC direct converters? Now all voltages and current shown over here should be positive. Okay. So what happens? We are directly focusing into operation. What is happening over here, and try to point out a difference with the previous things. Now, firstly, A is positive with respect to B, right? In the first cycle, A is positive with respect to B. So if the positive, negative. So this is positive, negative. So if this is positive, negative, which will on? T1, T2, positive S1, S2. Now what I'll do? VAB, bold line, VBA, the opposite line. So now what we will do? We know T1, T2 is on. So if T1, T2 is on, current will flow in this direction. Positive T1, then load, then T2, back to this negative. So this goes in this direction. So current polarity, direction and voltage polarity maintain positive voltage. So it should follow as this line. T1, T2 on. Right? Then what we should get? We should get a negative voltage. So negative voltage means which we should give on? Means T1, T2, then force commutated, S1, S2 should be on. Then only if S1, S2 is on, then only current will flow this direction from S1 to the load. Then from S1 to the load, then to S2, this back to negative. So S1 is from S1 to load, then S2 back to negative. So current flow is in this direction now from S1 to load. So voltage will be opposite. So where it should go? Follow the dotted line. So T1, T2, T over here, this over here S. So again T1, T2, S1, S2. Okay, so T. I hope everybody has understood this, how it is done. Now this bold line becomes negative and dotted lines becomes positive. So now there is a negative cycle over here. So now what we should get? Positive cycle, right? We should get a positive cycle. Now in order to get positive, means current should flow in this direction. Which should be on? Obviously the other cycles. Okay, before going to that, this is negative, this is positive, right? Because it has changed its polarity. A is negative with respect to B because AB has gone negative. So A is negative with respect to B. So if this is negative, which should be on? T4. If this is positive, which should be on? T3. And S4 and S3 should be on. So now current flows from which direction? From your T3 to the load, T4 back to this part. So current flows in this direction. So voltage will be maintained positive over here. So T3 over here. So T3, T4 should be on. So T3, T4 on to maintain positive voltage. Then which should be on? S2, S1, S2. S1, S2 means current will flow in which direction? This direction. Okay, so this will get a negative voltage. S1, S2. So this is T, this is S. Then again T, then S. T. So T1, T2, S1, S2. T1, T2, S1, S2. T3, T4, S3, S4. T3, T4, S3, S4. So this is how you are getting a output voltage over here. And how many cycles over here you can see? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I take this figure, your F naught is equal to 4 Fs. So we are getting a step up cycloconverter which is stepping up the frequency 4 times. Over here what we have shown is 6 times. So T1, T2, S1, S2, T1, T2, S1, S2, T1, T2, S1, S2, T3, T4, S3, S4, T3, T4, S3, goes on. And then after that it is repeating. From here it will repeat the same thing. So how many cycles are there? You can easily observe 6. So 6 Fs over here. So what is the difference over here between these two? Only one thyristor is conducting over here for each cycle, right? One thyristor. Over here we are having 2 thyristors conducting for each cycle. That is the main difference over here. These are with R load, and tomorrow we'll study with RL load. Now we should look into how we are achieving step down. Since we have seen step up is possible. Now how we are achieving step down, we have to look into. The circuit is same. Circuit is same. We have to operate the switches in such a way that my output frequency is lower than the input frequency. Circuit is same. See, if I ask you to explain step down cycloconverter, your circuit will be same. Only whatever description written over here are different. Whatever waveform drawn over here are different. Okay. Be careful of what type of cycloconverter is asked in a question. Circuit will be same, waveforms will be different. Take care of that. Okay, let's start on with our step down cycloconverter. Now how it is operated. All these points are written over here. You just go through it. Now we'll take the same thing. Just one second. So we'll take the same waveform over here like this. Okay, it's a step down, so I have to draw many cycles over here of sine wave. How many cycles I have shown? 1, 2 cycles. So let's take 2 cycles. 1, 2. Okay. Given this, we'll draw the dotted ones. Okay. So first is this positive with respect to this, which is on T1. Current flows in this direction, will get a positive voltage. And since it is a thyristor, what we'll do is try to give a delay in gate pulse. So we'll start from here, get a delay in gate pulse. We'll get it over here. Previous circuit, we were not giving any delay, we are keeping alpha as 0 only. So now we are triggering it at a phase angle alpha over here. You could have made alpha equal to 0, no problem. But since we have to utilize, we can show the variation of output voltage also. So that's why we are showing it as alpha over here. Okay, one thing more what I should say, the peak voltage, the maximum value of this voltage remains same. See, it is not exceeding the supply voltage peak. no voltage has exceeded the supply voltage peak. That's why I told in front at the first, the peak voltage remains constant. Over here also peak voltage will not change. Average RMS will change obviously. A peak voltage will remain constant. So during the first half cycle, T1 is on. Okay, so this is T1. Now I am keeping this T1 on for this whole cycle. I'm not turning on T4 because I know if minus is connected to the T4, I have seen that previously what in one complete cycle, what I've done, first turn on T1, then T4. But what I want to do is now keep only T1 on for the whole cycle. So if T1 is on for the whole cycle, so we'll get the positive part only. No negative part is there. T4 brings the negative part. Okay, so that's why what we'll do, we'll get positive part only. Then during the next cycle, so we are basically not turning on T4. In the next cycle, this is negative, this is positive. So which will be on T2 and T3. Now also we want to keep the voltage as positive. Which thyristor should be on? T3, because then only current will flow in this direction. So we'll not give a gate pulse to T2 and keep it off. Keep T3 on, so we'll get a positive voltage after a delay of this one. So we'll get T3 over there. Then what we'll do, in the next two cycles, instead of turning on T1, what will turn on? T4. If T4 is on, current will flow in this direction. So voltage will be negative. So we'll get a negative voltage. Now in the next cycle, which should be on? T3. T3 and T2. Right? In the next cycle, but we want a negative voltage. If T3 is on, we have seen we are getting positive voltage. If T2 is on, current flow will be in this direction, we'll get a negative voltage. So T2. Now if you draw a complete sine wave over here, we'll get up here. So what will be your output frequency? Will be half times of your supply frequency X. So now what we are doing is we are trying to keep on T1 for the complete cycle, then T3 for the complete cycle, then T4 for the complete cycle, because we want to get only positive values, only negative value. But in the previous circuit, in step up converter, in one cycle only we want positive value, negative value. But in this case, how to differentiate it? In one complete cycle of your positive voltage, we want only that value. And in the other cycle, we want, if it is positive, we want positive completely. We want positive value only completely through the cycle. If we want negative value, we want negative value completely in the cycle. So now you see, if you draw a sine wave over here, you will get F naught is equal to 1 by 2. If you draw the current, it will look as same because it is a resistive load. You could have drawn current for this through figures also. These two waveform also, both will look same as your bold lines. Whatever the bold lines are drawn, it will look same. Okay. So this is how your step down conversion is done. Now, if you look into your step down conversion using a bridge converter. Since I am expecting you have understood this, I'll explain from here only, then bring a reference over there. Now, at the first, what we need is a positive voltage. During this entire positive cycle, we need only positive voltage. So you can see from this figure, which two switches should be on to give you positive voltage? It is obviously T1 and T2. Even though S1, S2 is forward biased during this positive half cycle, I can't turn it on because that will give me a negative voltage. So that's why I'll turn on my T1, T2 for the entire half cycle. So what I will get? T1, T2. Voltage positive because of T1, T2. Okay. Next, in the next half cycle, for which I am getting positive voltage T3 T4. So I'll keep T3 T4 on. Next, if I want again positive half cycle, which should be on T1 T2, then again T3 T4 if you want to continue with the same number of cycles. But if you want to get negative cycle, so again you are getting a positive half cycle, right? This cycle repeats after this, so see you this cycle becomes positive over here. So in order to get negative voltage in the first half cycle, which switch should be on? S1 S2 should be on. So if S1 S2 is on, we are getting a negative voltage. Next, to get a negative voltage during this cycle, which switch should be on? It is S3 S4. So S3 S4. So this is how the pulses should be given to a cycloconverter. Then only you can get your step down cycloconverter as well. So T1 T2 T3 T4 S1 S2 S3 S4. This is only we have discussed right now. T1 T2 T3 T4 S1 S2 S3 S4. So pulses should be given accordingly to get this turned on. Okay, so this is one part of the cycloconverter completed. Tomorrow we'll see how much we can do it, and if I have time I can show you some simulations also. Please, if you want, you can try these simulations at home and find out how these waveforms are obtained. If you don't do simulation, then you can't understand it nicely. So any circuit you can do simulation and get these waveforms. So please practice it. All the theoretical things are written over here. You can find it in the book also. Any book you refer. This I have written. Hello, হ্যাঁ বলো।
হ্যাঁ বলছি এখানে এই পোরশন থেকে কি রকম কোশ্চেন আসবে?
এগুলো মেইনলি theoretical questions. Yeah, এগুলো mainly explain the operation of step up cycloconverter with R load. তো এই ডায়াগ্রাম ড্রয়িং করতে হবে, এই ওয়েভফর্ম ড্রয়িং করতে হবে আর নিজের ভাষায় এক্সপ্লেনটা করে দিতে হবে।
এখানে সেন্টেন্স গুলো লেখা আছে, এই সেন্টেন্স গুলো কি পুরো সেম টু সেম লিখতে হবে?
না না, এটা জাস্ট আমি তোমাদের পড়ার জন্য লিখে দিয়েছি, ঠিক আছে? আমি যেগুলো ওয়ার্ডে বললাম মুখে মুখে, এগুলোই পুরো এখানে লেখা আছে, আরো ভালোভাবে লেখা আছে, ঠিক আছে? যেটা বললাম সেটা বুঝতে পারলে নিজে নিজে এটা বানিয়ে নিতে পারবে। কিন্তু সার্কিটটা আঁকা আছে, এই সার্কিটটা থাকবে, এই ওয়েভফর্মটা থাকবে আর ওয়েভফর্মটা থাকবে, এই দুটোই। এই কখন কি অপারেট হচ্ছে মানে T1 T2 S1 S2 এরকম ভাবে লেখা থাকবে। This should all be written in your waveform. This two should be essential. If it is a 5 marks question, okay, I will give 3 marks for this two. Okay, this and this will give you 3 marks and 2 marks for what you write. Okay, because this is more important.
ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে